Here after Colorado's 5th practice of preseason camp, their first in full pads, Brian. Finally some real football today. Obviously we didn't get a chance to see.
Right.
McIntyre was a little bit short. It's hard to know exactly how today went.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously said the guys were physical and got after it, and you expect that. I mean, the first day, those guys probably get excited about going to hit people, and in talking to guys last week, you'd ask them, "You excited to hit people?" Like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait." So you expect that, but yeah, he didn't say a whole lot about who was physical. But in talking to a couple people afterwards, sounds like Chase Newman, really opened some eyes today with how physical he was in practice today, and that's always good to hear.
A couple of the more open competitions during this preseason are at outside linebacker and at cornerback. You asked McIntyre about a couple cornerbacks. What was kind of your gauge there for the latest in terms of that battle?
Boy, it really sounds like it's wide open. You've got the two returning starters, Trey Udofia and Dante Wigley, both started 7 games last year. And, he was asked about Udofia, and his answer was like, he's done okay, which didn't really give me much confidence in how he's done. But, he said he's done okay. Asked about Chris Miller, who we saw in the spring, looked really good. I think he was the most improved DB in the spring, and McIntyre said he has flashes of greatness and flashes where he's not very good. And then we've heard a lot about Delrick Abrams. He didn't talk about him today, but we've heard a lot about that. So I think those 4 guys, and really, yesterday talking to a coach walking off, I said, "Who's impressed you?" He goes, "Mekhi Blackman has really impressed me." Okay. And I've heard about Ronnie Blackman as well. The backup quarterbacks the other day were raving about Ronnie Blackman. So I think there's 6 guys in there that are competing. I think there's the 4 that we kind of think will be at the top, but I think there's 6 guys that are competing in there. It's just pretty wide open.
Since this staff has been here, that's not a position you really worry a whole lot about.
No, it's really not. But I think you just want to see these guys do it. But I'm not worried about them finding a couple of corners, 2-3 corners that can play well.
And outside linebacker is not only an intriguing position battle, but a position they really need to step up. After Jimmy Gilbert graduated last year, they didn't get a consistent pass rush. That was one of the issues on this football team. I talked to Jacob Collier, lost quite a bit of weight this offseason, feels like he's a lot faster, but it's a wide open competition. He said that he knew Mutu Follow and Carson Wells are basically rotating with the ones day after day. You got to assume it's just going to be who out of those 3 guys makes the most play throughout the course of August, and I could see that competition really going up close to the season opener. Yeah,
or even all through the season. I mean, all 3 guys, I think their strengths, all 3 of them have, and Carson Wells is the guy that we keep hearing about. We saw him, you and I were both at that camp a couple years ago. I think it was the Under the Lights camp, where he was the fastest man there. That's impressive. But then he's physical as well. He's a big, fast kid. Fallow, I'm excited about him just because of him coming back and everything. And then, Collier, you got to be excited about what you saw last year coming from the start. So I think there's some excitement there, at least for me, on those 3 guys. They need somebody to step up, whether it's 1 guy, 2 guys, or 3 guys. Then, of course, you got Alex Changham in there, who's not quite in that group yet. But I think there's some intriguing guys there. It's always been an intriguing position to me, but one I don't really know what to expect.
At this point, I think I would expect Follow to play a lot on 1st and 2nd down, but I'd be really surprised if Collier is not kind of their pass rush specialist in that, especially with that lower weight. He mentioned, he looked like he was shot out of a cannon early last season, but what happened and what caused him to kind of slow down was other teams started game planning for him. When 44 came on the field, they pointed him out and said, "Look, this guy's coming after you." So he became more of a known commodity, and I think that's an adjustment guys have to make going into that 2nd year.
Yeah, certainly, and the weight loss is going to help with that. I mean, he looks good. He looks, obviously he's leaner. What did he lose, 20 pounds? It was something like that. 20 pounds. He looks leaner, and when I talked to him in the spring, he said he didn't feel like he had lost any speed or strength, so that's good to hear. But I'm excited about him. He looked good at times last year.
All right, we're rolling along here at CU, 5 practices in.